a really good mic, Zoom is like, yeah.
I have a pretty good mic, but I just don't want to have to fucking figure it out because I don't have a webcam, so I'd have to use like a laptop, and then I'd have to like somehow route it through, and it's just
and then your signal sucks, and it's like.
So webcams actually, you don't have to work too crazy with webcams. I've just got like a $60 Logitech one, and I mean this isn't bad quality at all. So
no.
I mean, you know what? They actually gave me one for work. I was supposed to set up with my work stuff, but I was like, I'm not fucking letting them watch me. Like, fuck off. Like, I'm making calls. You can hear me, but don't.
Piece of tape over it when they can't see you.
I didn't even plug it in. They haven't even said anything. So.
I had I was taking a college class back in like when I was in school. It was an online class, and it was one of those where they'd turn on the webcams and they'd make you like, you know, they could see where your eyes are going and shit like that.
Okay. By the way, Bread and Circuses, what's up, guys? Yeah. We can start with this.
About to admit, I think it's been long enough. I don't think anyone can do anything to me. I don't even.
Fuck them. Who cares?
I was taking this class. It was like I don't even remember what the class was. It was something stupid, and I had like figured out on my laptop how to move my arm and scroll through the notes that I had taken without coming up on the screen. Ooh. And it was masterful, and I did good enough to pass the test. But like right after I took it, I closed it out and I had my webcam up because I was practicing, and I saw that you could see the notes in the reflection of my glasses. Like you could see my phone on the screen, but nothing ever came of it, so I never got in trouble.
I don't think they care too much to.
I think they're more just like you're looking down at your phone, or like you're looking somewhere, not really like
seeing a notebook or something that you have.
Yeah.
That's smart, man. Like honestly, if you are having to do a home class and you're not doing some jank shit like that, you're not going to get anywhere in life, man.
No, yeah. Life's about using your resources, man. Like,
exactly.
You bet your fucking ass. Like I have my sets memorized, but when I go, like, I use it to my advantage. I take a black Sharpie and I write reminders of what jokes I'm doing inside my tattoos. Nobody can see it. So
that's smart, man.
You know, that's how I passed college math, was I wrote all the formulas in my tattoos.
They didn't let you have like a fucking cheat sheet?
Fuck no, they didn't. No.
Yeah, they didn't for us either, man. You had to know
like, here's the it depends on what type of formula it was, or if it was like a new one. But if it was like something crazy, they'd be like, here's the formula. But if it was like something easy, they'd be like, sucks to suck, you don't know it. Like, fuck off.
I think they only let us write down the quadratic formula because that's like looking like Chinese when you're writing it on the paper. So.
Well, see, my thing was like, they wouldn't even let us do the quadratic formula. We had to memorize that too, even at fucking Metro, where I was at the time. Like, my thing was like, my right arm was tattooed, my left arm wasn't. So what I was gonna do was I was just gonna tattoo the fucking
quadratic
on my arm and say like, you can't say shit. These are my tattoos. I chose to put these on.
I will always have them forever.
That's wash it off. Here, I'll wash it off in front. Oh, look, it's not going anywhere. Like.
What honestly do you think they would do?
I don't know. They
somebody
probably
did that.
Put on long sleeves.
Why? It's like I'm always gonna have this formula with me for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Yeah,
that's dedication, really.
I mean, it was gonna be in black ink, so I just would have covered it all up with other shit later. But
I wouldn't have even been mad. I would have kept that shit, man. There's somebody you've been at a bar and like some engineer is like sitting next to you or something. And he's like, dude, is that the quadratic formula on your fucking arm? And be like, yeah, it is, dude.
Oh god,
I'm dedicated mathematician, dude.
Yeah, no, I needed this to cheat through my community college class. We are not the same.
Oh god,
you totally look smart too to somebody that's like that hasn't done that stuff and like ever. They'd be like, dude, you know math that well? Yeah, I got math formulas tattooed on me, bro. Like, here's quadratic formula, here's linear regression right here.
That's Derek Pavelka. What he's going to school for is math. He's a comedian friend of mine.
Okay.
That goofy motherfucker's gonna be a mathematician if he doesn't make it in comedy.
Yeah.
See, you never have a plan B. You always never have a plan B, because then you're not gonna fucking make it. Like,
yeah.
At least that's my philosophy. Like,
so like, I think people need to be more like I understand like the chase your dreams thing, but also like don't starve while you're doing it.
Oh yeah.
I think you should chase your dream, but also be good at something practical.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like develop a skill while you're, because I mean that's the thing. The internet, it's like you don't have to pack up and move to LA if you want to be famous.
Fuck
anymore.
no.
It's like you have work from 9 to 5 to pay your bills, and then what you do after that,
Exactly.
is up to you.
You know what I noticed? Almost every really successful like internet or like YouTube personality or Twitch personality, almost all of them have college degrees.
Really?
Markiplier, I think Markiplier was, which he's a really popular YouTuber. I think that guy is a fucking doctorate, like a PhD in like
what?
I think in like engineering or something. Like I know he's like a really, really smart guy.
Yeah, you can just tell like he's really fucking smart. Like I used to watch him like a long time ago.
Who is it?
Markiplier. I don't know if you've ever. He's honestly, I think he's fucking annoying now. But like, just because I grew up, but like he's smart.
Video game thing? Or
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah, he plays video games on YouTube, but he gets a lot of views. So
he kind of came up in like the PewDiePie era.
Yeah,
like,
kind
YouTube.
of. He's been around for a really long time. And then also I didn't realize too until I looked it up. Every single one of the guys from Impractical Jokers has a college degree too.
Yeah, like some of them are like firemen, and it's those guys. Have you seen those guys live?
I have not, and we watched a ton of True TV on YouTube TV now, so I've pretty much seen every episode of it. But
that's oh fuck, that reminded me. YouTube TV got NFL Network, and Cam Newton just tested positive for COVID.
He did just test positive.
Really? Did he really?
40 minutes ago or like an hour ago?
It was like an hour ago.
Yeah.
I woke up.
Damn,
man. God damn it.
Aren't they playing the Chiefs too?
Yeah, we're gonna get rocked. It's not even.
That sucks, man.
Who's even the backup?
Brian Hoyer.
Oh god.
Oh, that young kid isn't the second string. What's his name?
No, he was so bad. He's the third string.
Poor baby.
The one that was supposed to be the heir to the throne or whatever. No, he was so bad. He's the third stringer. So.
Man, at least you guys have hope this season. I've been watching every game this year for the Eagles. It's just like, oh my god, dude, how does a quarterback regress this bad in one season? Like, I you know what I really think it was is I think Carson Wentz having his kid. I don't think he worked out like at all in his off season. He showed up to training. He showed up to training camp 5 pounds heavier than he was last season, and everybody was calling him fat. So.
That's why you forbid your players from having kids. You guys,
right. Until he's won at least like 3 Super Bowls, like Brady.
Yeah,
that's right. You only hire women that have their tubes tied.
Well, at least the Eagles have fucking won something. I'm a Chargers fan, so
they haven't won anything this season.
Oh, you mean like a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Chargers, like they've been, but like relevancy, no, nothing. Like it's like it's sad, but whatever.
You probably give him another 5 years running with that guy they drafted last year until they realize he sucks, and then they relocate back to San Diego. So
talking about Herbert, right?
Yeah, Justin Herbert.
Didn't he had like a 300-yard game his first game? But
I don't know. He's like, I think he's like Mitch Trubisky V2. So
I mean, he did have like 30-second notice before they put him out there because like the Chargers doctor just like punctured Tyrod Taylor's lung.
Oh, I heard about that.
And it was just like.
Yeah,
and it's like
stuck a needle in his stomach or something.
Yeah, like because he had something going on with his rib, and so like they shoot like a pain medication in there. But if you do it a little bit too far, it just punctures your lung automatically. So his lung was just punctured, and he's like he hasn't played since. So it's like you think a doctor would know how to do that.
That's Tyrod Taylor might not even come back to playing after that. Man, a punctured lung is pretty fucking serious. Like,
it is, yeah.
He'll probably miss the year if I had to guess, but you can come back from it. It's But that's terrifying. There's no like way to measure it or anything. It's the doctor's going to shove this needle in you, and if it goes too far, well, sorry. Like, we haven't evolved past that, really. Like,
yeah. That's the reason doctors get them big bucks, man. They just.
I was listening to like Pat McAfee's podcast or whatever about it, and he was like, like you would think a doctor would know how to do that, but think about it, like a doctor of that level doesn't really get paid to give people shots. So they haven't done that shit for like 30 years. Like they don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's like a nurse's job.
Even so, too, like a doctor, knows how to do it, but that doesn't necessarily mean like he's good at it, too. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like you said, he hasn't done it before. Like people that don't know how to do that are me and you, and like we'd stick the needle in his ass.
Yeah, exactly.
And we wouldn't know what we're doing, but he, at least knows where to put it.
Yeah,
just not very good at it.
People tell you all the time, like, trust doctors, which, I mean, you should for the most part. But when you look at the amount, like, the number one cause of death that's not, like, from a disease in this country, from, like, heart disease, cancer, stuff like that, is medical malpractice. Like, far away from anything else. I think the next highest is, like, car accidents with like 35,000. Like it's not even
Mm-hmm.
close. And it's super scary. I'm like, yeah, there's like 500,000 doctors last year that fucked up and someone's dead because of it. And who knows how many doctors it fucked up and someone's just permanently maimed because
that's kind of how like my great uncle, like he was a really, really big guy and he had like knee issues. So he was getting a knee replacement and they just fucked his shit up. Like it was just like he already was like bad at walking. He needed a walker and everything. But after that, it was just like someone had to help him get up. Someone had to help him do everything. And they got a lot of money from it because they sued the doctor heavy.
Make a ton of money.
But it was just like he really fucked it up. Like, sure, he couldn't really walk that well in the first place, but like, come on.
I think we had a coworker that said that one time he went in for an amputation. When it our one coworker from the one that we used to work with a long time ago, didn't she say like her uncle got like a leg amputated?
What's her name start with?
It was an L.
Okay.
Didn't she say? I think she said he got a leg amputated, but he got the wrong leg amputated. So
he cut the wrong one off.
What?
He went to the VA. Yeah, he went to the VA.
God.
That's how. But yeah, he did a VA like leg amputation because I think he was diabetic, and they fucking removed the wrong leg.
I remember that.
Like, he got all this medical malpractice money, but he's like, dude, I don't have any legs.
That
like,
can't buy your legs back though.
Yeah,
like,
no amount of money will buy my legs.
I thought
back.
you can't sue the VA.
No, I think if it's like as bad of a medical malpractice like that, they'll still give you money for it.
Oh yeah, they fucking should.
Oh no! It wasn't his leg; it was his lungs. They did a lung removal, and they removed the wrong lungs, so they ended up having to like give him like artificial lungs or some shit. Like,
oh my god,
yeah, or like the wrong.
Yeah, I was saying, is that worse? Like,
yeah,
because now you can't fucking
it was
breathe.
like I think it was like half of a lung, so he had to like remove like the bottom halves of both of his lungs. Yeah, and like he was just like sucking real bad because of it. That's what it was. It was
I do remember that. Yeah, yeah. It's like, I mean, yeah, you hear stories like I had an uncle that went and woke up in the middle of surgery while his stomach was open up and they had the scope down. I've heard stories about like people dying of infections because they will leave the scalpel in your body when they stitch you back up.
Or they'll leave. I hear they leave towels and like rags that they used to for blood a lot.
And people get infected, and it's like
and go septic and everything.
It's still rare, like, but it's more common than I'm comfortable with. Like,
I think like I honestly I do have like a lot of faith in doctors just because like I've never really had a bad experience with doctors before. But I think that situations like that happen because they've done it so much that they just like are careless. You know what I mean? Like if you've done the same shit over and over and over and over again, like if you've done a fucking million appendectomies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like driving.
Yeah.
You know? Like you'd like to say you're laser focused on the road, but I mean, we all look at our phones. You know, we dick off and look at something.
It's like your tweet I saw like 2 days ago. It was like it was like a potential joke. I think you deleted it like right after.
What did I say?
It was like I hate when I got to put my beer down to set a fucking text while I'm driving.
Yeah,
and I was just like, so funny.
No, that's still up. Yeah,
oh, it is okay. Because I liked it and it didn't show like a 1 next to it.
Oh.
I don't know why, but I liked it.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I was just like, did he delete it right away? That doesn't seem like something he would just delete. Like that's a fucking joke, and it's funny. I don't delete much. Yeah.
I had Caleb tagged in this picture earlier too, where it's like,
it on my phone. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, you gotta show him it, man. It's like a picture of like a bunch of like army dudes like doing some army shit, and it says like fake bravery, and then it's
okay, yeah.
It's like a guy like real bravery, and it's a guy holding a beer.
Yeah, it's like while he's driving. Yeah, I see it. That's fucking hilarious. Oh, speaking of drunk driving, I have a DUI on my record.
Do you?
Damn, dude.
And I'm only 20, so you probably don't. Yeah.
Sheesh.
I got it when I was 18.
Yeah.
Really? I know. So did they actually charged you with a DUI for it, right?
So,
did they?
Yeah, I'll give the whole background on it just to kind of go into it. So I was at some like concert or something. It wasn't like a big one. It was like a local one. And I drove out to my friend's house. I was drinking before that. I was driving drunk the first time. Parked the car at the park because I was drunk. I didn't want to go in his parents' house. He comes over to the park, picks me up. We go to the concert. It's like a 4-hour concert. So after that, I was like, I'm fine. You know, like I'm going to my car, driving home. And I was like, you know what? I got like half this bottle of Smirnoff still left. I'm going to pull over in Ralston High School's parking lot. And I just fucking like drank some of it.
Oh my God.
And I was just like fuck it.
But
It was some
first off,
dumbass.
cross
I was some
crawling
dumb.
with cops.
Exactly.
That's
It was the
that's
dumbest
some-
decision I could have made.
Yeah, that's some
Like,
teenage
that's all on me.
logic there. Like,
Exactly. I was in the high school parking lot and I was drinking. I was just on my phone and the cop pulls up behind me and I was drunk, but he was asleep. His head was on the wheel, but I was like texting my friends and stuff. And I was like, I'll show you. I was texting people. Like, I don't know how I can be sleeping while texting people. But I was like, I don't really want to show him my phone because then I'll probably just fucking take it and be like, this is evidence or some shit. So I was just like, you know what? I'll just let it be. And then he pulled up behind me, but I was like, I sped out of the parking lot at that point. I was like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm just going to go because, like, yeah, I'm leaving. Then he was like, I didn't have my lights on until I got onto the road. So he pulled me for driving with my lights off, too.
Yeah.
He didn't take me to the like actual police. Well, he didn't take me to like the jail. He just took me to Boston Police Department.
Yeah.
And like he was like having me do my fingerprints, and he was like, "Stay fucking still while you're doing your fucking fingerprint.
Oh my
this is
God.
the third time I've had you do it." And I was like, "I am drunk. Like, what the fuck do you expect me to do? I am drunk. Like, I can't be still." And he's like, so he just held my fucking finger and did it for me, and I was like,
What a guy.
"Thank God." Like,
What a guy.
don't take me to the
what a
fucking
man.
jail. Yeah, and then later on, I go to fucking court for it or whatever. So I had aggravated DUI because it was so high.
Yeah.
I had driving with my lights off, and then I had minor in possession, just because I had the alcohol with me. I
Sure.
also had like a weed pipe in there,
Sure.
but like I was smart enough at the time to be like, I have a tobacco pipe. I don't know if he actually like thought it was weed. Like there was some fucking weed.
Can they charge you with paraphernalia, or don't they
You
actually?
have to have drugs with
I
you.
did not have
Yeah.
any weed with it at all.
So yeah.
Because the pipe isn't illegal. You can go buy
Mhm.
that at Walmart.
Yeah. But yeah, that goes on. And then I get my public defender. I have to go meet with her. She's like, "This is what your charges are. What's your story?" Wrote it all down. The biggest bitch in the fucking world. Oh
Public
my
defenders?
God. Well, she was.
Yeah.
And then big fucking story of like the actual court date of when they're like getting you like sentenced or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was scheduled to get like 1 day in jail because of aggravated DUI and then a bunch of other fines and probation and stuff. But she just didn't show up.
Yeah.
She just dead ass didn't show up.
Public defender just never showed up.
Yeah. So I think the person that actually took my case was a guy that's running for like city council or something, like John Kavanaugh, if you know who that is.
No.
He
I
just
know
like
who John.
he just like stood up and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna help you out." So he fucking did that, got it knocked down to just the DUI. Everything else was taken off, and it was just probation and then the fines. And I lost my license.
I would be pissed if that bitch didn't show up.
Yeah, and then she showed up after. She's like, "I'm so sorry. I had 2 cases scheduled at the same time," and I just like kept walking. I was like, "Fuck off." Yeah, you couldn't do anything. You couldn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
And the public defender that helped me was just like standing next to me at the time, and he just shook his head. And it was just like, everyone hates this lady. Like you can just tell, like all the public defenders do not like this lady.
Well,
But
That's so weird, man.
Mhm.
I hear that law is like one of those institutions where it's like it's really, really oversaturated
yeah,
right
no,
now.
dude, it's the
Mhm.
same thing with doctors. Like we were just saying, like they've got degrees, they know their shit,
Mhm.
but there's quacks in law. Like
Oh, yeah.
there's not like there was I used to sell cars like when I was 18, like right out of high school,
Mhm.
and there was this guy that went there that was a former lawyer, and everyone was like, "Why did you go from being a lawyer to selling cars?" Like, well, this guy got debarred. Is it debarred or disbarred?
Disbarred, yeah.
Disbarred. Okay, because he was showing up to court drunk. He'd take the money and like not show up. Like he'd take their retainer fee and then just fuck off the whole case. Like there
Jesus.
were enough of his clients filed like a class action lawsuit. They yanked his license to practice law in Nebraska. So that's why he was a car salesman.
Yeah.
And he lived in his
Sheesh.
car. He got
Hey.
evicted from his apartment because they couldn't afford it, like living in that, selling cars.
Apparently, too, because there's such an abundance of lawyers, it's not like doctors. Like lawyers don't really make that much money.
No.
Apparently,
Unless
That's
you're
what
like
I've
really
heard.
good, probably.
Unless
Good
unless you've unless you've been doing law for like 40, 50 years. Like it's not like being a doctor where you can start out making 6-digit salary
hmm
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, and that's the thing is it's like unless you hop on, catch on with a good firm or something like that, there's so many lawyers. I know a guy that's he's like the one immigrations lawyer in Omaha that also speaks Spanish, and you bet your ass this guy is fucking loaded.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
everyone else, like there's other immigration lawyers here, but they have like translators, but this guy's actually bilingual. I mean, this guy is rich. Like he lives out in not Regency. What's that big neighborhood out west called off Dodge Street, where they have all the Christmas lights?
Oh, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. It's off of like 132nd or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those fuckers are rich,
Mhm.
but You no, you mentioned
You would think if you were working in immigration law, you would want to speak Spanish, man, because that's going to be the primary,
Right.
target a client there.
Right. No, I was gonna ask have you guys heard of Signal at all? Like the phone app? Because you're talking about the cop looking through your phone.
Mm-mm.
You guys got to get on Signal for text messaging.
What is it?
It's a non-profit, so it's not funded by anybody. It's literally just funded by donations. And it's a text messaging app, and it's not like SMS. None of your records are actually saved. It's only sent from you to the person that's receiving it. Signal isn't like Apple or Verizon or somebody that's keeping your messages.
They can just pull up all the records.
They've been subpoenaed for their records on several cases, and the only thing they have is when the person logged into the app. And it's affiliated with your phone number, and you can text your friends and stuff. Like, it's just, you make phone calls. It's just as long as you got Wi-Fi.
I heard the government was trying to
they're trying to
that. Yeah, because I'm sure there's all sorts of child pedophile rings using
I'm
that
sure.
shit and stuff.
I'm sure. But I just don't like the idea that they can track, and you can set the messages to self-destruct in like an hour or a day or a week.
So it's like a real Snapchat, not like Snapchat holding everything.
Like Snapchat claims to be.
Yeah,
basically. And it Snapchat. How long does Snapchat save the shit for?
You can you used to
permanently save it.
Yeah, now you can permanently save it, but usually right when you had it at the beginning, it would go away as soon as you went off of it. Then I think they added the 24-hour thing. You can save it for 24 hours.
Yeah.
It used to not. It used to not show it when you would screenshot it. So all us big brain bros out there, that's how we'd save the nudies from the ladies. So.
And then once it started showing that you were screenshotting, that's the whole reason. When you got the app that you pay a fucking $1 to save it to your phone.
Yeah.
But
literally, that's the whole reason I downloaded that app. Somebody was like, yeah, dude, you can it doesn't save the pictures that you send. So you can just screenshot them. These bitches are so stupid. They don't know anything about it.
There was a YouTube hack on how to do it, go into airplane mode. And I knew a guy that was doing that for a long time. And I called him on it. I'm like, bro, that shit don't fucking work. You're just dealing with some girl that doesn't care. And he's like, no, it does. I'm like, okay, I'll send you a Snapchat and you do your method and we'll see if it actually shows me. And sure as shit, it's like, yeah, so-and-so took a screenshot. I'm like, yeah, see, she's just trash and doesn't care that you're screenshotting it. But no, the cool thing with Signal is it's totally encrypted. But yeah, like you said, the government's trying to come after it now because of course they want to see what's on your phone.
I heard too that I don't know if it was Apple or it was some messaging company, maybe Facebook, that what they want to do or what they do is that they encrypt the message data and stuff so much that even they can't access it. Apple, yeah, and iOS. The government is coming after them for that too.
iOS is secure, but Signal's the top of the line. So iOS, I think Apple keeps it for a couple days after it's deleted. But once it's gone kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
it gets encrypted so much that they're we can't even access it because it's so encrypted.
Yeah. The issue is people are when people get their phones taken, I'm trying to think of the right way to word this. It used to just be that when they took your phone with a warrant, they would only look at things that were specific to the case. But now
they're supposed to do.
Yeah, now they take everything.
Yeah.
So,
because they're always looking for something else to charge you with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude gets, popped for kiddie porn or whatever. Instead of just taking that evidence and using it against him, they see, oh, he bought weed from a guy 4 months ago, and they go after that dealer.
Or two, they're trying to find who he got the CP from, and if anybody else that it was distributing to, because you can bust 8 guys with child porn instead of 1, which is, that's good that they can do that.
And that I don't have a problem with.
Yeah.
But when you're taking unrelated stuff or a photo of maybe him drunk driving and you just try to throw the book at it's
or him selling pot to some fucking his buddies at work or some shit. That's when you get into that debate of dude, you don't really need to be fucking doing this craziness stuff over selling drugs or something.
Right. Well, have you guys heard about all the child trafficking busts that have happened since that Maxwell lady got busted?
I've heard about them. I have anonymous or whatever on my notifications for Twitter. So I get some stuff. I don't look at it as much as when the whole Black Lives Matter protest thing started shooting out of the fucking roof.
Yeah.
That's when I was on my phone constantly, just looking through everything. Now it's kind of died down. Like,
Were you with Dion at that one?
I was not. Gary was there.
Okay.
I
It hasn't
wasn't.
died down over on the West Coast. If you're
Oh,
going
fuck
over to
no.
Portland and
Portland is-
Seattle, it's pretty
Do
crazy.
they still have that
over
city that like
No, that's
4
gone.
blocks? Okay, I
Chop?
thought it
No,
was.
they
Chop
disbanded
is
that.
gone.
Yeah.
That-
I remember that. That was so
I'm
funny.
surprised that didn't end more like Waco. That they caved as easily as they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that, I mean,
I think Waco made it to where we'll never have another Waco again, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's such a stain on the fucking like
Oh, yeah.
federal police agency records.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You know what Waco was, right? Like the Branch Davidians.
Yeah.
Koresh.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
as
actually
Koresh
going to
probably.
Waco like in December.
Oh really?
Yeah, I told my mom, she's like, "Don't drink the Kool-Aid," and I was
No,
like,
that's
"Good
Jim
for-"
Jones.
I
That's
know,
South
but she was
America.
just fucking around. But I was just like, okay.
Which I 100% don't really think that they were doing any pedophile stuff in there. I think that was a smear campaign that the FBI was trying to do, because it's like, if what's the easiest way to get people to not like somebody is to be a pedophile.
Yeah,
So
they didn't like him because they had a lot of guns and they were living off the grid. That's what it
Mm-hmm.
was. And
they never had any proof that there was any pedophile stuff going on
Well,
there, and they never would have.
even if they did, the issue with Koresh was, who blew my phone up? The issue with Koresh was that dude would go for a jog every morning, and he would go into town like several times a month. Like he was very much a creature of habit. So they didn't have to make a big spectacle. They could have just went and arrested him. Like it wouldn't, and maybe he would have thrown some bullets back. But it's
especially if you
better
know he's
stand
gonna
off.
be somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
The guy who was like the FBI director, some director or somebody in charge though, wanted to fucking have a big dick and go like, "Oh, I arrested 25 people that
Well, that's how it always is though. Like with federal, like if they fuck up once, it's like it's fucking like scorched earth. Like
It's
everything's
all about
getting
funding.
Yeah.
That's why they stroke their cock in front of you every time they make a bust.
Yeah.
It's about funding.
Mhm.
Everybody
Yeah.
wants to be the guy that busts the child sex ring, like, and
people want to be the guy that, busted and got like, 150 pounds of pot from a Suburban, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, like,
they want to be that officer. So
like homie that tried to blow up the courthouse.
yeah.
You hear about that?
No, what's that?
Uh-uh.
Some dude tried to, or it was like a bomb hoax at the courthouse, but they raided him and there was like 1,000 pounds of weed in his house.
That's a lot of weed, man.
I
Oh
know.
God.
That's a lot of weed for one guy. That's like a whole room's worth of weed.
Dude, that's fucking crazy. You guys didn't hear about that?
I mean, I thought I heard about something
No.
at the courthouse, but I didn't hear anything else.
That sounds like an SNL skit, dude.
Yeah.
I heard somewhere that it was dog shit in the boxes. So like he was down there to dispute a traffic ticket, which means this was all premeditated, right? Like he was down there to dispute a traffic ticket, and he was like, "These assholes aren't going to give me my money back." So he'd probably been gathering up dog shit for weeks, and he stuck the fucking boxes of dog shit right by the door. So when they walked out, the smell would hit him, but like he didn't realize that it looked like he was planting a bomb. So.
Oh my gosh.
That's hilarious, dude. That's like
if you've got 100,000 pounds of pot, or excuse me, 1,000 pounds of pot, you can't be like fake bombing.
Fuck no.
No, you should probably maintain a pretty low profile.
Yeah.
Always follow the rules when you're breaking the law. Like that's fucking 101, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I've heard a lot of like police testimony about stuff that usually when they get somebody on something, they know that they can, if they're pulling over or like getting somebody for one thing, they're probably going to get them for a bunch of other stuff, because like they don't want to just get some guy who's just got his like a tail light out or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's not worth their time to get a guy going 8 over the speed limit when they can get a guy going 15 over with his tail lights out. He's probably fucking drunk.
Right.
Yeah, especially in like Omaha too. Go to Sarpy County, that's a whole fucking different story.
Sarpy
They'll pull you
County,
over for
they'll just harass
anything.
you. I've seen 3 people stop a guy, 3 cops surround a guy in Sarpy County for running a stop sign after a comedy show. I was sitting outside smoking, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Like,
maybe he might have had a warrant.
He might have had warrants too.
You never know. It's Sarpy County too. Like,
yeah, that's with Sarpy County. I knew a guy that had he had closed his bank account and opened a new one, and he accidentally wrote a bad check to a grocery store, and he got pulled over and fucking booked in jail for that.
Oh,
Because you can go to jail if you write a bad check.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, if they don't get their money. But, and, it was just an honest mistake in his case, and he just made it right away. But he still had to go through the process of spending the night in jail and shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Sarpy County. Sarpy County also took my friend. He was way out west dumpster diving, and he had gotten a bunch of, which friend
I know exactly who this is. Yeah.
So I get a call at like 11:30 at night, and they're like,
was this recently, by the way, Caleb?
It was about a year ago, yeah.
That's okay.
Who the fuck is calling me at 11:30 at night? It's like a Sunday night, and I'm like, hello? And it's like, your call from inmate number, blah, blah, blah. And then it says his name, and I'm like, oh. I'm like, what did you do?
You honestly, though, Caleb, like, you had to have realized that like, you're just like, I'm not honestly surprised about this, but I do want to hear the story. Like,
we've all got friends that, like, when we haven't heard from them for a couple weeks, we check the arrest records, like the recent arrests and the obituaries, because you never fucking know, right? So, like,
this guy's I'll tell you, this guy's not a bad guy.
Not a bad guy.
Like, getting arrested for dumpster diving is something that doesn't surprise you.
Okay.
No,
that's like not a crime. That's like a bad crime, right?
No.
But you're gonna, like, a cop's gonna get you for doing.
So what happened was he was dumpster diving, and I don't know if it was private property or what, but they tried to say that he had over $1,000 worth of steel. Which $1,000 worth of steel, you'd need like a street light, like you'd need like a semi truck to carry all of that.
How would you even carry 1,000 pounds?
You had a pickup truck. Yeah, I'm like, how? Like,
without like a backhoe or something.
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, they tried
to
throw that at him, and he, of course, like a public defender beat the charge for him.
Yeah,
he got it pled down to like trespassing, $75 fine, and you're good. But I'm like, if it was me, like, because this guy, I mean, he was in a financial spot, but I probably would have fought the trespassing, like, if I could, just because Sarpy County is a bunch of fucking crooks.
Yeah.
And, like, if you're going to but the issue was, after it was all done, this guy does, like, like maintenance and contracting for a living. They seized all of his tools, and they wouldn't give them back. And they're going to sell those at a police auction.
Yeah, they're not just going to, keep them for fucking evidence.
They couldn't prove ownership.
Yeah.
They thought that he stole those. They said, he might have stolen those from the dumpster. So they couldn't prove his owner. It's not like, like, I've known people that have gone to courts and had their guns seized. Well, you can prove that your guns are yours.
Yeah, it's registered to your name.
Numbers.
Yeah.
Well, it's not registered if you're smart, but that's a story for another. I don't have to register none of mine.
That's why they're all out in a boat, sunken boat.
I got my CCW. There's, no record that I have one gun that the government knows exists, and I'm totally within the law. So
there you go.
You're in Texas. You don't got to register nothing.
No, it's really easy to get guns down here, even in a very left-leaning city such as El Paso. That's like the one issue that they don't give a fuck about when it comes to, like, when they're very, very on the right about is gun ownership. Like, remember how there was that really big mall shooting that happened here last year?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, like, the next day, like, all the gun stores were all fucking sold out. Everybody was like, dude, I'm buying a fucking gun, bro.
Yeah,
like,
that's how you respond to it, man. Like, that's my thing. If you set the precedent that, you can get the gun to go walk into the mall and shit and do what you got to do, but more and more people are just going to start spraying at you. Like, they're going to be less inclined to do it,
Exactly.
That's my.
That kind of stuff just happens at easy target places. I mean,
for
like,
sure.
Walmart doesn't allow you to have guns in the store regardless of state laws. Yeah, you can't. Walmart's a gun-free zone, so you can't.
Is that like on their website?
It's something that's posted in front of their stores.
Oh,
like,
they're not posted here.
Yeah, no.
Really?
So the cool thing with Nebraska is, unless it's like a forbidden place, like a bank or a bar or a church or a school or government building or whatever, a private business, if they don't want guns, putting it on their website isn't enough. It has to be posted at every single public entrance. And if someone enters through the public entrance that doesn't have one posted, you can't do anything. You can ask them to leave, but they're not violating the law. Which is why you always go through JCPenney at the Westerns. Fun fact.
All the Walmarts here too, especially after that event too, they all have like private security firms, and the really busy ones have a cop there at all times. Yeah, even at like really late at night. Like,
seriously?
Yeah.
I know the one on 72nd has that like fucking patrolled yellow thing.
They need that there.
Yeah, they do. Like,
I'm sure the one up at like
stealing shit.
The one up at like 29th and Lake or whatever, I'm sure has a private security firm up there
Oh,
too.
for
So many people
sure.
have been fucking murdered up
Oh
there in that
god,
parking lot.
that's like the pizza delivery no delivery zone. Like
Yeah.
yeah, like they have like a no delivery zone for
Yeah.
like in that area, and
No,
it's
my-
just like
My dad
shit.
used to deliver pizzas in high school,
Uh-huh.
college, or not college, he didn't go to college, but high school, and like
Yeah.
when he was in his 20s and stuff. And they told him, they're like, there's a stop sign. It might have been down there. It was in one of the neighborhoods. They're like,
Mhm.
there's a stop sign. I can't legally tell you to run it, but you need to run it. Like that kind of thing. Like,
just go.
yeah, they don't stop for it, or you whatever happens to. I mean, because
Like-
pizza guys, they can't get out of the car in half these neighborhoods anymore.
Mhm.
Like, you have to come get it because they get run up on. And like, dude, you're robbing a pizza guy for like $40 worth of tips
And
like,
a
really?
pizza.
Yeah.
And a pizza. That's like a $20 pizza. You know, maybe $40 if they got a couple in there. You
Yeah,
know?
depending on what they have. Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
Did you used to
That's
deliver
smart.
down there,
That's
or-
smart
no,
thinking.
I never delivered pizzas.
Oh,
I worked at Little Caesars, so
Okay.
like
it was all pickup.
that was all pickup. Like I
Yeah.
think now they do delivery, but that was when I was like 16 in high school,
Yeah.
and I had a manager there. Like she was so dope, but like she was so fucking ghetto. Like
Really?
it was just one of those ones where it was like she's definitely done some heroin.
That's one of
Like
the
she's
things I
definitely done that
love.
before.
That's one of the things I actually like about or appreciate that you can do at DoorDash is I know where all the ghetto parts of El Paso are. So if I get a delivery that goes anywhere near a ghetto part of El Paso, I just decline it. And
Yeah,
I'll
there you
go.
go.
I'll go do it in a better part of town. Like I don't have to subject myself to that because
Exactly.
usually those people only tip like $1 anyway. So
And
Yeah.
how much do you even make like on top of that tip? Like what,
you'll
certain
make
percentage,
usually
right?
like you usually make like a certain like $3 and then maybe get like a $2 or $3 tip depending on like I mean I've had deliveries before we deliver like if they order a lot more food you get more money basically.
Makes sense.
So I've delivered like a whole family's worth of Olive Garden and got like fucking $12 from it, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And
Makes
it
sense.
also goes off like how far the delivery is too. So if I deliver Olive Garden all the way up into New Mexico, it's gonna give me like a little bit more than if I delivered it down the street. So
Yeah, it makes sense.
Dude,
yeah.
you mentioned Olive Garden. Do you think these like baby boomer chain restaurants are going to start going under?
I don't know, man. I know because of the corona, there's a Men's Warehouse that went under. The one that like was the closest to this house. I was like thinking about it, like, dang, man, yeah. Then nobody did homecoming or prom this year.
Mhm.
Like, that's a lot of their tuxedo rental money. It's
Yep.
like it's rough,
Gone.
man. Nobody did weddings for tuxedo rentals. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I feel like because boomers love the chains, you know,
for sure.
like just where they can eat shit and shitty food and reheated Applebee's garbage. Like, no offense if you're an Applebee's fan.
I only like half price apps, but that's because that's only how
different.
much they're worth.
That's
It's
yeah,
an
exactly.
They're not
I
worth
think-
any more than that. Like
I think everybody in Omaha should go down to the Applebee's over there at Crossroads.
oh god.
Just to experience how terrible it is,
See-
like at least once.
The only times I've been there, I honestly haven't had bad service. The one time I've had bad Applebee's service is the one at Oakview. I went there with my family and like it was like a good few years ago. But like the waitress that we had like got us to our table, got us drinks, and left us with menus. And then like it was like an hour and a half later. Then she came back and she's like, "Sorry, I was on a smoke break."
Oh my god!
It's like an hour and a half. Like,
Dude,
what?
I went to the one at Crossroads and
What the fuck?
we went in there and there was just like this like like the air quality inside the restaurant just felt greasy. Like you felt like you were hit by like a grease quality in the air.
Don't you hate that when you eat something and you just feel yourself gaining weight?
Mhm.
Yeah,
like you
dude.
just feel gross.
Yep.
Like,
This happened from breathing the air at the restaurant. And then what is it? I got a beer there and the fucking glass was dirty that they got me a
Oh.
beer in.
I haven't been to the one out at Oakview that you were talking about
Mhm.
since I watched a beetle crawl out of my friend's burger.
Oh my god.
And
Oh,
then
God.
the manager, instead of just taking it on the chin, like, yeah, we fucked up, your meal's on us, tried to come over and make the argument that they were not going to comp our food. I'm
They're
like,
like, you put
At
that
Oakview?
beer there.
yeah, I'm like,
Oh my
you know
God.
what? That's a good point, actually. Let's just cut our losses and not fucking eat here because I don't want to eat here anymore anyway. Like, I just
Yeah.
watched a beetle crawl out of his food, and you came over here and defended that. I don't know how that's defensible.
No,
Like,
fuck that. What the fuck?
That's a sign of a restaurant chain that's really hurting for money right
Oh, for
there, dude.
sure.
Like
Yup.
they don't give a fuck
Mhm.
about customer service. They're just like,
No.
dude, we're trying to survive here.
dude, you know, and I get that it sucks because people are going to be out of a job and stuff, but like there's so many local restaurants here that are so much better than fucking Applebee's.
Oh, yeah.
And Chili's and shit like that. Like it's not. Nick, guess who we bumped into at Chili's?
Who?
Me. So Mia was really craving Chili's a couple weeks ago, and we went, and Florida Man was there.
Oh no shit! Of course he was at a
McCormick. I know, right?
Of course he was at a Chili's, dude.
There's this comedian in the Omaha scene that's like, you'd say it's pretty fair to say he's a racist.
I remember you guys talking about him on one of the past podcasts.
He's just one of those like stereotypical boomers that like doesn't know what the fuck he's saying, so like, he just says it anyway, like, and not thinking anybody's gonna think anything about it. Like
my favorite. See, the one that did it for me was him saying on Facebook that black privilege is being able to steal everything and still call yourself the victim.
Yeah.
That was the one that I was like, okay, you might be a little bit of a racist, bro.
He's one of those guys that's like profile pictures like him in his truck. Like,
no, it's in his convertible.
Or convertible.
On. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's that level.
That guy, yeah.
That makes sense. See, you got the ones with the trucks, and then you got the ones that are like with the convertible, and they're like, they think they're higher class than the other ones.
Successful, yeah.
But they're like, are you really?
Because he is like a retired like E7 from the Air Force, so he's got money.
They've got money.
But
they buy businesses. He owns Bounce U right up the street from here.
I remember that place.
Yeah, he owns it. He bought it.
I was in DECA in high school. I don't know. Where did you go to high school?
I went to Millard South.
I went there too.
Okay.
So yeah.
What year did you graduate?
2018.
Okay, so I might not even have been there.
No. Because I remember, I think it was on a podcast when you were with Dylan. Yeah. And you were like, yeah, my school got shut up freshman year. And it was like, oh, he probably went to Millard South. Yeah, like, I remember when I was in 5th grade when that happened.
That's crazy. But like, that's my fucking brother's age. That's so, like, I feel so, because Pavelka's the same age. Derek Pavelka's the same age. And like, I'll hang out with him. I'm like, dude, like, I'm basically going out having a beer with my brother's friends. Like,
dude, I'm the same way. Like, I was in high school when the Von Mars shooting happened, dude. Like,
So I remember when that happened too. I mean, I don't remember what fucking grade I was in. Probably in elementary school. Yeah, because those happened pretty close to each other.
A couple years.
Like a couple of years. Yeah, I was really young when that one happened, but my uncle I think was at Millard South when that shooting was happening. But I think he graduated early because I think that happened in the second part of the year, didn't it?
Okay. Yeah, it was like the first day back from Christmas break.
Yeah, he graduated early, and like.
The thing about the shooting, and I've never told this before to anybody on like in a public setting. There's like 3 people that know this story. So we were freshmen, we were immature. Like we were fucking. There was this guy. He was a friend. I'm not gonna name drop him. He was a friend of my cousin's, and we used to fuck with him all the time. Like we'd prank call him while we were at lunch and stuff like that. Just fuck with him, right? And the day that shooting happened, like seriously, we were at lunch like 30, 45 minutes because it happened while I was at lunch. Like I saw the dude run out. Like I witnessed it.
Because he went in the office and then he shot and then ran out, didn't he? Yeah.
And he came back in for a minute. I think he was trying to shoot the whole school up. But so we called this guy like 30 minutes before the shooting happened. And he's like, fuck you. I'm on my way now. I'm going to come kick your fucking ass. I'm coming up to the school. And I can just imagine that guy seeing that news like, oh, God, what have I done?
Oh, no.
Like, I'm about to be a fucking suspect.
Yeah.
Just imagine, like, his heart just stops. Like,
oh, my God.
Yeah, you go to the police and they're like, hey, man. Like, because he's not going to get charged with anybody. He'll have to go in for interrogation.
Yeah, they're going to look into him. And like, even if you've got nothing to hide, you still don't want the cops up your ass, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, that'll ruin like a Saturday or something.
Yeah. Like, that's my thing is it's like, I had to like, when my girl moved in with me, I had to coach her. I'm like, okay, we're not doing anything illegal. There's no reason they should come knocking at our door. But if they do come knocking at our door, you do not let them in. Don't even answer it. You can talk to them through the door. That's what people don't get. Like, that's the misconception.
Dude, yeah. If you open the door, do they just like, can they just come in?
No, but
they have to have a warrant. They have to have a fucking warrant to come into your house.
Here's my thing. If I left a weed pipe laying on the coffee table and they see that, there's a reason to go search.
Yep, and that's all they need.
That's all they need.
It's ridiculous.
Yep.
Well, no, actually, I don't even know if they even do that in a house, though.
Yeah, they can.
They can? I thought they could only do that in a car.
Nope.
No, it's everything. It doesn't matter what it is. If they're able to see it before entering, they can just walk in and be like, "Yep, that's reasonable." Not reasonable.
Because I know. So this happened to my wife when she was in high school. Some girl at another high school, like stole some beer with her friends from a gas station, and the police, it was like a police detective saw like the footage of it, the gas station footage, and immediately like they thought it was Anna, so they went and like they came to her house and like barged their way in and were like giving her like really aggressive like testimony and stuff like you stole it, I know you stole it, I saw it, and Anna's of course just like no I didn't do it, why would I steal beer, like Anna doesn't even like drinking beer, like so yeah, and then they went like they went down to her principal's office, and her principal was like that's not her, you idiot, like but she entered the house without a warrant, and I know my mother-in-law went down to the police station and filed like a complaint against them and everything.
No internal investigation with
no
findings of wrongdoing.
Big surprise though, a detective entered a house for a 14-year-old without a warrant and nothing happened, right? Totally fucking went against her constitutional rights of illegal search and seizure.
But, that's what people like. What I tell as many people as I can is like most of us aren't doing anything. I mean, everyone's probably doing something illegal in their house, even if they don't even know it. But most of us aren't doing anything that's going to cause them to show up.
Dude, me watching fucking NFL games on stream is like illegal.
But so like so if they come to your door and they knock and you answer and you let them in, there's a 99% chance that you're going to be fine. But it's not worth that 1% chance. Whereas if they knock on your door and you talk to them through the door without ever unlocking the deadbolt or anything like that, there's a 0% chance they're going to get anything for you. It's just play the odds, man.
Exactly.
Like, why would you?
Yeah, people want to try to say, oh, if you cooperate with them, nothing's going to happen. It's like, no, if you cooperate with them, they're going to give you a very minor charge that's going to get downgraded.
Charges. Well, that's what I mean, it's a money grab. That's what they did to my friend with the felony shoplifting charges. They knew that he's going to see that. He's probably going to hire a public defender for it because he's dumpster diving. Let's be honest. Guys like that can't afford, Glenn Shapiro, Pat Dunn type lawyers here. They saw that he was doing that. They're like, let's just scare him and get him to plea down. We'll make a quick $75 and call it good. That's what they're doing. Like that was the game plan the whole time. They were never going to take him on felony charges.
Fuck no.
But they know, they just know they can make a quick $100 off him. Like,
it's just a fear aspect.
And some cop somewhere can put that on, like, I've got a guy charged with this. Like, my job is necessary.
I can justify it now.
I justify my job, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, they're a smart person. If the cops come to your door, talk to them through the fucking door. Like, I'm sorry, you guys can hear me from here. Like, that's fine.
All you have to do is ask them, do you guys have a warrant? Okay, then I don't need to open my door. Or ask them if you're being detained too.
And that's the other thing. If they do have a warrant, call the fucking lawyer before you even answer the door. Like, that's my like, have a lawyer on standby, because there's a
usually
chance
if they have a warrant, that they have a warrant usually, because
they'll tell you right away.
Yeah, well, I mean, usually if they have a warrant too, it's because you like are doing something that they need to have a warrant for. Like,
Well, I know
like
people.
You're probably.
I know people who have had fake warrants used against them.
That's got to be a fucking.
The cops.
That should be something that should get somebody's badge taken away.
Oh, it did. It did.
Okay.
The cops knew that this individual was going to run. And they knew that they didn't have to, and it was after 4, so the judge was gone. And they knew that they didn't have time to wait till the next morning to get a warrant signed. So they forged the judge's signature, and just thinking, because it was in Sarpy, of course, they were just thinking, he's just going to sign it tomorrow. And he saw that and he said, fuck you. And they all lost their jobs for it. And
that's good.
Yeah. I think one of them actually went to jail.
That's good. He should.
So,
yeah.
I mean, that shit's criminal. But yeah, end of story. Don't let them in. It's like the Black-Eyed Kids. You guys heard of those? You never heard of the Black-Eyed Kids? Like the kids that come to your door. What is my dog fucking? Megan!
Megan!
Did you know her?
Yeah, I heard her.
Yeah,
I heard it first. I was like, what the fuck?
That's like a comedy sketch or something where like they're prank calling somebody and they keep going, hey, shut the fuck up.
So I did that to somebody one time, and years and years ago, I sent some. It's like one of those recording things, like prank dial.
Oh, I remember that shit.
It's like, hey, it's John. So, and then like you hear dogs barking. He's like, shut up! And he just keeps turning around and screaming. And He's like, the person just hung up and they called the number back. And I was right there watching it and puts it on speakerphone. And the guy, they're like, I received a call from this number. Was this you? And the guy goes, no, it wasn't. But if they call you again, let me know because I'm going to hunt them down. And I'm like, I realized we were using Liam Neeson's phone number here.
Dude, Caleb sent me a prank dial one time while I was at college. And
Don't
I was
tell
like,
the other half of the story.
I know, but
Okay.
I got it and was in the bathroom when I got the phone call from it. I have to, or at least at that time I used to have to answer like stranger numbers because I was in the military, like in the reserves.
Okay.
So like if it was a 402 number, chances are it was somebody from my reserve unit trying to call me about some dumb shit like oh, fucking we need you to fax this fucking paper for us or something. So like I'd just be like, oh, okay, so I'm in the bathroom and I answer it and it's like this fucking guy. So it's like a prank dial thing, and I keep like I'm real quiet in it, like hello, because there's a guy in the next stall next to me, so I'm just like yeah, hello, and the guy keeps like yelling at me and getting all aggressive with it and everything, and like I'm not 100% sure if it's a prank call or not because you always have that in the back of your head that it's real, but like it sounded so fucking ridiculous. I'm just like hello, oh what? Like I couldn't even understand it. I'm just like oh what? Like I'm trying to keep it in really quiet.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I'm just like, oh my god, dude, this fucking guy in the stall next to me, because it's quiet in this bathroom, can probably hear what's going on the fucking phone call too.
Yeah.
Like, this sucks, man.
What do they call those? A bathroom stalemate where you're both in the stall and you're afraid to shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
no one wants to be the first one to draw.
That's because it's so embarrassing if they just let out a big Mongo shit, dude, that like fucking blows up the bathroom and you're in there just like doop, doop.
Well, I mean, like, dude, I have IBS, so it's one way or the other with me. Like, it's one extreme or the other, and I'm not willing to run that risk, you know?
Dude, I've walked into a bathroom while some guy is in the middle of doing an extreme at a Walmart before, and I've like turned out and like I was like, dude, I will pee in the other bathroom.
Especially at a Walmart, like
yeah, dude.
Fuck, that's you already know it's not clean or anything. So it's
I had a friend who got pissed off that Arby's ice cream machine was broken, and he was drunk, of course. So he went into the bathroom and pissed on the floor.
I think I've told you this story before, Caleb, where I was super drunk at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, walking around to the bars down here in El Paso, and like bar was closing, and I was like blackout at this point, and we went up to a fucking Jack in the Box that was like walking distance from that bar. And like I went into the Jack in the Box, went into the bathroom of the Jack in the Box, locked the door, and just fell asleep on the floor in the Jack in the Box.
Oh god,
dude!
Like, I just was like, my friends went in there an hour later because they got the manager to unlock the bathroom, and I'm in there just like,
oh fuck.
I was telling you I don't drink that much anymore because like when I do, when I go out, like I can sit down and have a beer and be fine.
Yeah.
But like when I go out, I have no chill. I have been personally escorted out of the Hive by Jake Gardner himself.
Oh shit!
Oh, the man, the myth, the legend, dude.
Oh god.
So I mean, it was there were these. It was St. Patrick's Day a couple years ago, and these two girls got in a fight. And I don't know what they're fighting about. I'd never met these people.
Yeah.
And I just started to antagonize them. I was like, kick her fucking ass!
Dude, yeah, that's the thing, man.
About your sister.
You see girls fighting in a bar, and that shit's just funny, dude.
Yeah, out of nowhere. And I knew it was Jake because I'd met him a couple times. And Jake comes over, and he's like, nope, you got to go.
Did they kick the girls out too?
Oh, yeah, they got thrown out. Cops
that's probably good that they kicked you out.
Yeah, I mean, I was just instigating it, and then the fight got taken out to the street.
Oh fuck!
Like, cops are coming. Dude, the cops had to live outside of the fucking Hive because the quality of people it attracted were so low. You probably never been.
No, I've never been. I've been to bars. Like as soon as I got like my fake ID and shit, like I was like going to bars.
Run it. No, I'm just
okay. Yeah.
No, cops don't listen to our
exactly. Show. If they do, fuck them. But yeah.
I think Anthony might listen, but I don't think he gives a shit.
I don't think. Yeah. Hopefully.
Remember, guys, I'm a comedian. Everything said on this show is satire. None of it's true.
I'm just telling stories that I make up in my head. So no. But yeah, I was going to a few bars and I went to Bar Chen. I'm sure you've been to Bar Chen before, but
I've never been to Bar Chen. What's up with Bar Chen?
That's in Benson, right?
It's in Benson. We were just at Benson. We were going around through all of them. It was me and a few of my friends. And we went to, first one we went to was the one that was under the Japanese restaurant, the sushi place.
Yeah,
that one's
I've been
like
there.
dope as fuck. They
Yeah,
play
that
like
one's cool.
alternative music
It's a
and
little,
like
tiki bar type thing.
it's like, yeah, it's like a little like anime bar, like,
Yeah, I've been there.
but it's not like too anime. It's just like they got like cool drawings on the wall and they play like early 2000s like alternative music.
Yeah,
and it's like, all right, this is cool.
Bartender's really cool there.
Yeah. And then we went to Bar Chen. We went to a place where they have like apple pie shots. That was pretty cool.
Okay.
And then after that, we went to the fucking sex toy store because we were like, fuck it. And they have like that walkthrough thing, like the sex tunnel or whatever. And I was just like so drunk, and I was just like, this is so fucking cool. But what the fuck? And then I was like in like the back room of that place, and they have like the toys, like the big fucking ones, like the big boys. And one of them, like, it was like one of the ones that you turn on and it just goes fucking like hard.
Yeah.
And I was standing by it, didn't know it, and my friend just like turned it on its highest setting. It just hit me in the back, and I was like, "Oh fuck, what was that? Oh, it's a dick. Okay, that's what that was." But yeah.
No, we do comedy at a bar that I won't name. But there's like regulars that they just go to drink.
Yeah.
And we'll do our open mic there weekly, and there's a guy there that he's a regular and he only has one arm. He's an old guy. And this dude will sit there. He'll go there when they open at like 3:00. He will drink until they close.
Shit.
And that's where he spends like his disability and retirement or whatever. Is just drinking at the bar. So this guy gets wasted and he can't hold his dick, so he just pisses on the floor just because he's constantly missing the urinal. And like they've had like 4 or 5 bartenders quit from that shift. And I'm like, I wouldn't want to fucking Swiffer wet jet the bathroom every time this asshole gets up to pee. Like
every day.
Yeah,
fuck that.
Fuck that, dude. I'm not doing that. I would quit too. They don't make near enough to be doing that shit. Like,
just go work at a different bar, man.
Was he an older guy or?
Yeah, he's old.
Okay.
He's probably in his 60s.
Yeah, I had a friend in high school who kind of lived like over it was like right at the cutoff of like Millard and Gretna.
Yeah.
Okay. And one of her neighbors like was missing an arm, and she always called him Hans from SpongeBob. That was the hand. It was just
that's
so funny.
Hilarious.
One day he was just out laying in the grass, and he was there for like 4 hours, and people were just like, "What the fuck is going? Is he dead? Like, did he just die?" So the ambulance called. I don't know, but the ambulance got called. As soon as they came, he just got up and just walked in the house, and it was just like, "Are you kidding me?" Like.
Those old people that don't give a fuck, man.
He was like he was actually like a young guy. Like,
really?
He was like 20 or like probably 30s. But he lived with his parents in his basement. But like he had a lot of stuff. I don't know what it was like. Maybe the military or something. But like he had a lot of medication. He would like.
I was probably a disabled vet.
Something, yeah. And it was just like it's not funny to make fun of it, but also it's the funniest thing to make fun of it because I
think it's hilarious to make fun of disabled vets, dude.
It is.
There's a sound bite.
I love dark humor anyways. Like that's my go-to. Like I don't know.
Our first Halloween that me and Caleb ever spent together, I dressed up as a homeless veteran.
Well, I was like a cannibal warlord, right?
Yeah. You're like an African cannibal warlord.
Well, I'd get canceled for wearing that costume now.
Yeah. I would they'd maybe try to cancel me, but I'd be like, I can do this, man. I
didn't wear blackface. It's not like, I didn't say I was an African warlord. I just said it was a cannibal warlord.
For all you know, you're just a South African, and you just talk like you're farting out your mouth, like the fucking Africans.
I'm an Italian cannibal warlord. Like if you hear cannibal warlord and think African, you're the fucking racist, not me. Like that's my whole problem.
That reminds me of some shit where I heard I saw it on Facebook. It was like a screenshot of like a post a guy was making where he's like, he's talking, and I don't know how serious this was, but he basically goes along the lines of saying that he wishes that slavery had never happened because he wishes that because that would mean that there wouldn't be any black people in America, right?
Oh my God.
It's like dude, like, you know, right kind of like way you're going, but like the end is like not so good, right?
Yeah.
So but then somebody comments on there like, dude, are you seriously being like this racist right now? And a guy just goes under, he replies to that and just goes like, are you defending slavery? And I'm just like, dude, you're just in like you're just in a corner, like you can't, what are you gonna do, man?
Stalemate, man.
Yeah.
Nobody can win that, you know. It's like, are you gonna be the guy that defends slavery? It's like, because I did a debate in high school briefly, and the thing they taught us was like, when you get asked like loaded questions like that, you know, because you see it all the time, like when people are like on the news and stuff and they debate. And I think David Stern, the commissioner of the NBA, actually used it against Jim Rome one time. They ask you a loaded question, there's no good way to answer. you just go, oh yeah, when did you stop beating your spouse? Because there's no good way to answer that. Because if they say never, then that means they're still beating their spouse.
Yeah.
If they give you a time, then that means they were beating their spouse at one point.
Yeah, you just can't answer
So
it.
you can't. So you can't answer it. People get pissed. So I did that to a guy in a Facebook argument one time because he was being a dick. And he's actually a local concert booker here. I won't say. Actually, fuck it. He owns Blackheart Booking. If he's got a problem, he can come talk to me. He was arguing back and forth and just asking ridiculous loaded questions. It was right when the COVID thing started. It was in this Millennials of Omaha group, and I was like, just sick of it, and like I have shit to be doing.
I need to get into that group, man.
Yeah, and I was just like, if you stop beating your spouse. And this dude freaks the fuck out. And I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, whatever. He blocked me and everything.
Yeah.
He's like, are you kidding me, asshole? Fuck you. I'm like, oh, okay. So then he starts harassing my friend in the same comments thing and starts messaging him, like sending him like all these goofy messages. And my friend's like, hey, Caleb told me to ask if you'd stop beating your spouse yet. And he goes, yeah, keep looking, asshole. You'll see those charges got dropped. It's like, you actually did beat. So maybe you didn't.
Those charges got dropped. It was never proven in a court of law. I
Googled him. He had been arrested like 3 times in 2 years for DV. So it's like,
where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, no, like where there's smoke, there's fire. And I'm not slandering anyone. Charges were dropped. Obviously, he didn't do it. But if
all we have to do is say, this guy was beating his fucking wife, dude. Allegedly,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, dude, if you get arrested 3 times, you're either doing it and she's the moron, or you're a moron for staying with a fucking psycho bitch like that keeps accusing you of beating her. Like,
yeah.
Or the fucking attorneys are morons for not being able to prove that shit, dude. Like,
well, I mean, it can be difficult. Those cases are always murky, and people don't show up and shit like that. But I mean, yeah. And then he like threatened my friend. He was like, sent the guy his address. He's like, I could always show up to blah 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 Bellevue, Nebraska, and we could talk about it there. I'm like, dude, I'm starting to wonder if you did beat your spouse.
Yeah.
You want to fight somebody over Facebook? Like,
I'd be like, how about I show up to your address and shit in your mailbox?
It's like, I would have been like, hell yeah, dude, come on over. I'll leave the door open. You walk in, I'll give you a big old fucking kiss.
Oh, fuck.
It's like, you come over. Look, dude, either we fucking or I'm fucking. So you better be ready, boy.
Lube that asshole up real nice for me, because I'm ready.
Oh,
Go ahead, call the police. They can't unrape you.
That's right, damn it.
God damn.
Yeah, no, that's the guy. Scott and I own a booking company, so he's our competition. Again, not slandering him, not saying he did it. The charges were dropped, so he didn't do it. But I have no problem calling
that
him
he
out.
was being aggressive.
Exactly.
He did say the charges got dropped.
Yeah. No, I can prove that he was being an asshole and threatening, and I can do that. So, I mean, that's my thing, dude. It's like, I don't have beef with anybody. Like he goes around telling people we have beef. That's the funniest thing about it. Because
I hate people like that.
Yeah, I book shows.
Yeah.
He books shows. So we cross paths in the community
it
one
makes
way
sense.
or the other. And my thing is like, dude, no, I don't have beef with anybody. I'm a very public person. I do a lot of shows that are open to the public, and I mingle. I don't chill in green rooms. I am not a hard person to find. Anyone that has a fucking problem with me can find me and can come settle it that way. Nobody will, though, and that's cool because everyone's tough on the internet. I'm not saying I'll whoop anybody's ass or anything like that, but I'm not a hard guy to find. We don't have beef because you've never done anything about it. Like,
makes sense.
That's my thing. Do you do shows yet or no?
I've done one show.
Yeah.
It was with Dion, Gary, and then James Cobain, if you've heard of James Cobain.
I've heard the name.
But we did a show back in February, like right before COVID started.
Damn, man, that sucks.
Yeah. It was my first show, and like
super spreader event.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if I can know. But speaking of fucking COVID, I think I had it twice. Like,
really?
Like, I think
I had it once. I think I had it back in March, February timeframe.
I had it back February on Valentine's Day. My temp was 106.
Jesus.
I had a really bad sore throat.
Damn, that's bad, man. That's
I had
brain damage bad.
And I had a really bad sore throat. I had, like, when I went to sleep that night, like, this was when I first started dating my girlfriend. Like, this was like the second time we went out, and like she just stayed with me like the next 3 days and stuff. But like, we were sleeping together, and like I woke up in the middle of the night, and like she checked my temp. I had like 104, but I was like, I went to urgent care, and they're like, we think you have mono. And then I was like, okay. And they're like, we would do a test on you, but it's like $500, so we're not going to do it.
Sounds like the bet.
And yeah, like I was just like, what the fuck? And then I went to my doctor like a month later because I started to get another sore throat.
Sure.
But it was just, I was working at you know where Craft Axe Throwing is down in Leavenworth?
Yeah.
That's where I was working at the time. So like, that's where I probably got sick. And I was always talking. I was always doing like teaching people how to throw shit. So I've kind of had a sore throat every once in a while because it would get really dry. I don't get a lot of breaks for water.
Sure.
So I was kind of having that issue like further on. And so I was like, what can I do about it? And I mentioned like going to the urgent care, and the doctor was like, they're fucking dumbasses.
Yeah.
He didn't say like fucking, but he was just like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
You should have probably came here the next week or tried to see if we could get any tests done or anything. Cause I wouldn't have said, hey, it's expensive. I'm not testing you.
Right.
Like, I want to know what's going on so I can help.
Right.
But like,
did you have any like respiratory issues too?
it was harder to breathe.
Yeah, you weren't coughing or anything.
Like, are you good now?
I mean, I'm fine. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been like a fucking world-class long runner, but
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay, but like,
I think I had it when I moved down here to El Paso because me and my wife, we took our cars down here to get our cars down, and then we flew back up to Omaha, and we went through Dallas Fort Worth. Like, that's an international airport, like in the middle of the fucking, when everything was really bad in China, but it hadn't come over here yet. So
supposedly it hadn't come over here. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it had, and I think I caught it over there because as soon as we got done moving, and I would like the next day we had moved here, I was like in bed, like coughing and like fever, and I don't ever really get sick. Like at least like flu or cold sick. Like I'll get stomach issues, but never like respiratory stuff. So and then my mother-in-law ended up catching the same thing. So I was like, we probably got the coronavirus.
Yeah. And then I think I got it again in the end of May. And I had like the worst headache of all fucking time for like a week straight.
Oh, that was just a brain tumor.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, shit, if it was, it fucking was. But but I was like, I had to like always lay down, sore throat, coughing, everything. Like it wasn't, I don't know. It had like all the symptoms, but like everyone's saying like you get diarrhea with it. But my problem was I just couldn't go.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't even
constipated.
eat. Yeah. And I just couldn't go. And then like I literally fucking the first time I gave myself like a fucking enema because I was like, bro, this is bad.
Yeah.
Like I've been eating, but I can't go.
Lena's will do the same thing for you.
Yeah.
Lena's burritos.
Yeah, that's true. But I couldn't eat.
Yeah.
Like I had big Red Wings like the night after I felt I had it because I was like my girlfriend wanted it or whatever, and I was like, sure, I'll go get it. Like I'm not feeling too bad right now.
Yeah.
But I went and got it. And then I brought them back and was starting eating, and like it like tasted like paper. Like it had no taste, it had no texture.
Oh,
and
so
I
you
could
lost your taste?
Yep.
Okay.
Both times I lost my taste.
Say that happens a lot with the corona.
That's why I think I had it twice, but like
that's what happened. Well, because there's more strains than just one.
Exactly. Like
because the virus is so good at mutating.
Yep. It changes.
So did you guys both see the one Chinese doctor that was on like Fox News and went on to a couple other guys that was saying that she had proof that the virus was like artificially made in China and
I don't doubt that it was.
I've been saying that shit since May, dude. Like,
didn't someone try and come out about that too, and they just like died like a week later?
Yeah, there was like a university professor that
it was the guy that was working on the cure or the vaccine or whatever months ago.
It was a while ago.
They found him. He got popped in the back of the head, and then the guy that killed him was found dead in his car like a block away. I'm like, okay, Jack Ruby, like come on, like this is. I hate it when the government is so arrogant about the fucked up shit they're doing. They don't even hide it. Like Jeffrey Epstein committing suicide. Like, they don't even care anymore.
No, yeah.
It used to be like they covered it up, and now it's like in your face. You can't do dick about it. What are you gonna do? You know who else they're saying is suicidal now? Julian Assange from WikiLeaks.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
They came out and said he was suicidal. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure he is.
If Trump doesn't get reelected, he's gonna pardon Assange, dude.
Do you think Trump's faking his COVID?
I think he might be.
I don't know, though. Think so.
Okay, he might be. Like I could see the benefit from it. Like he could just like stir some shit around and just be like, "Yep, I beat COVID. Let's fucking win the election."
If I were his campaign manager, I would have faked a COVID case in mid-October.
Mid-October. Well, the campaign manager apparently has it too.
Yeah, well,
and so like a bunch of Republicans now have.
Well, the Republicans in the Senate do. But think about it, and I'm not saying that he's faking it, but like if you're his campaign manager, like okay, early October, this is our October surprise because every election's got one in one way or the other. Let's say you got COVID. So that way you got, I mean, the president having COVID is going to be 24/7 news. It's
Oh,
constantly going to be them
It is
watching you.
24/7
Yeah.
news, dude.
They're not going to talk about anybody else unless, you know, like Cam Newton gets it. But that game just got postponed. I just got someone texting me and told me. But so they're going to constantly 24/7 news. Biden's totally off the airwaves now. Plus, even with his ads, when it's commercial time, when they're not talking about you, he's got to take the attack ads down, or he looks tacky, right? It looks
Trump needs
trashy.
to weaponize it too. He's just like, I saw something where he's like, yes, we're going to all be doing a press conference in this small, tiny room with no venting.
Yeah. And then,
Yes,
like,
press conference, yes.
and then, like, yeah, it's HIPAA protected, so it's not like they can, like, FOIA request you and prove that you were lying, right?
Yeah.
And then 14 days later, you come out after 14 days of nonstop news coverage, and none of it's really going to be bad of you, because that's poor taste to just bash the guy while he's sick.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
You're really giving like CNN too much credit, man.
Sure.
They're gonna be bashing. They're gonna be bashing him when he's dead from it.
2 weeks from now, you come out and say, "Hey, I was 100% cured by hydroxychloroquine," and then you win the fucking election.
Yeah, because you're the fucking savior. Because
Yeah.
you said
If I were
what
his
it is.
campaign manager, that's what I do, because that's how you win. And I honestly don't know who's gonna win. I watched the debate for sport. Did you guys watch it?
I watched it.
Fuck no, man.
I
would have rather
watched
watched
the day
two.
after.
I would have rather watched like two bears try to fuck like a dolphin. Rather than
when it was on was it Tuesday night? I think it was on.
Yeah,
it was Tuesday night, and I had it up, but like my friend JP was over, and we were making music, so it was on in the background. And I was eventually like, I'm not gonna make music if this is on, so we're gonna turn it off. But I was like, you know what Joe Biden looks like? Have you ever played Fallout, like Fallout 3 or Fallout 4?
I think so.
You know the feral ghouls?
Yeah, he does look like.
That's what he looks like.
Dude.
He looks like a feral ghoul. He's just like, you're just like, this dude's gonna like. He just looks like he's just been living for a million years.
That guy has so much Botox in his fucking face that, like, I mean, it's ridiculous. It can't be healthy.
No,
His face always looks like he's like jerking off with Icy Hot, dude.
He looks like every confused old person you see at Target trying to figure out the debit card, like the chip reader. When he like clenches his teeth and looks like that. Did you see that video of Ron Paul having a stroke on TV?
Oh yeah, he like collapses during some shit.
Yeah, here, let me find it. That shit's wild. Let me see here. We'll pull it up so he can see it. It's like, I'm not gonna laugh, or I'm not gonna lie. I kind of laughed when I saw it. I mean, like, the look on the guy's face. Like, what do you do there? It's like, what the fuck is going on? You know?
Yeah. I saw Ron Paul's getting up there in age too, so I mean,
Dude,
like,
he's 85.
Yeah.
He looks like he's older.
Yeah.
Based on that video.
Yeah.
Because he's been doing fucking government forever. Stay in government like for like 40 years.
Fuck
dude.
that.
Just sap your soul away from you.
I shouldn't laugh, but like still, it's like, and you know, like as a hypochondriac, like someone who's been like to doctors and therapists for it and stuff like that, it's like, it's kind of shitty that I say this, but it's reassuring because strokes are one of the things that freak me out. So whenever I convince myself I'm having a stroke, I'm like, wait, I'm not like Ron Paul.
Oh my God.
My uncle had a stroke.
Yeah. People that are having a stroke don't know they're having a stroke.
Yeah, well, he used to do MMA fighting, and it was like probably 20 years ago when he was doing that. He's like 40 something now.
Sure.
But he got like kicked in the head one time, and it kind of fucked him up, and he had to stop after that just because he was kind of like something with the artery in there.
Sure.
That it was like kind of a blood clot, but they weren't really sure. And the doctor he went to was just like, "Oh, you'll probably be fine. Just stop fighting. You're good."
Yeah.
And then like 10 years later, like he's working out, doing just fine. And then he was in Arizona at the time too, so it's like fucking hot. I'm sure that had some type of thing into it.
Heat
but
stroke,
but he was like just finishing working out. And he was like, I am so fucking tired and I can't feel my left arm. Like, what is going on? Like, he doesn't pull anything. Like, I'm fine physically. So he sits down and then like his whole like left side is just like this. And like, then they take him to the hospital and he has like 3 or 4 more strokes.
Oh my God.
And then they're like, I don't know. But then they're like, you need to do physical therapy. And he said, fuck you. I'm doing it my own. And he just like started working out again. And he's fine now. Like he has like twitches sometimes, but like shit, like how he came out of that, it was like,
that's crazy.
Like, you just like powered through it, and you're like, I'm doing my own workouts. I know what I'm doing. I'll do it. And he hasn't had any problems since. But like,
sheesh, man, that's that's crazy.
The Jay and Silent Bob movies.
I have not.
So Kevin Smith is Silent Bob. He he had like a massive heart attack on stage during
Okay,
stand-up.
I've heard
Kevin
about
Smith
that before.
did?
Yeah.
Years
That's
ago.
probably why Kevin Smith doesn't like.
He's lost a bunch of weight now.
He has lost a bunch of weight, and he's
Yeah.
very like tame. Like he doesn't get very energetic in his interviews. Like
they pulled him into the hospital in the ER, and they were like, "You've got like, he was conscious and everything. They're like, you've got like a 15% chance to make it. Do you want to call your wife?" And he said, "I felt like if I called my wife right there, then that was just me admitting it was over."
Wasn't he on Joe Rogan talking about that? Yeah. And then he like saw himself like he floated, like he was like out of his body.
Yeah. And there's actually an explanation to that, but he said it's like, he's like, I felt like if I called my wife, then it was over. And he's like, so I didn't call her. And I lived, but he's like, and then my wife was like, if you ever have a heart attack again, you better fucking call me.
Yeah.
That's, but yeah, no, there's like, because they say you see like the white light, and like people have like near-death experience or post-death experiences where they go and they see their loved ones and everything.
Yeah.
So your brain, when you die, actually releases the same
DMT
neurons. Yeah, that like if you were on DMT or acid or a bunch of acid. So when you die, you're not actually going, and I don't want to shit on anyone's religion or anything like that. And I'm not saying there isn't an afterlife people can go to, but when people see that stuff, it's a trip. You're on a trip. Your brain's releasing neurons. That's what it does. But it's not, you didn't actually go to heaven, because like all these people that go to heaven looks different for everyone. Like how the fuck is that possible? You know what I mean? Like you're not, it's just weird to me. I don't know.
I've always wanted to try DMT, but like I've done my fair share of like acid and like shrooms and stuff, but like I've had like DMT offered, but it was like,
you gotta be
I was
careful.
like, I was like, because I didn't trust the person that was offering it, and like I was just like, and he was like,
all it takes is one bad trip on that stuff to
exactly, and like
DMT's only about 15 minutes.
Yeah, but
it feels like 8.
It's intense.
That's what I felt. That's what I've heard. And like I went over to this guy's house that was offering it or whatever. Like it wasn't even his house. It was his parents' like lake house, like out in fucking Columbus. No service, nothing at the lake house. And we were just like, apparently he did DMT before it with another kid that was there who was oddly in one of my college classes. And I was like, this fucking kid, like, hold on.
Well, DMT, you just pass out and lay on the floor.
Yeah, but like they were like, they said, yeah, like we did it before you came over, and we like passed out, and it was like Super Mario Bros on the ceiling.
Yeah.
And I was like, never heard it be like that, but whatever. But then we like did acid after that, and like it was the worst fucking like thing to ever do it, because I didn't really know them.
Yeah.
And it was in the middle of fucking basically nowhere with no cell service.
That's the thing, man.
And then we went on to, like, they went into the lake water, and I was like, fuck that, I'm not going into lake water, it's pitch black. So I was laying on the sand.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be fucking with that at all on any kind of
they were real fucking spiders. And like they were like, yeah, we have spiders in the sand, I don't know why you're laying in it. And I was like, well, thanks for fucking telling me. Like
that's the thing, like with any type of psychedelic, even edibles, man, if you're going to do that, you need to be in a good state of mind with people you trust.
Exactly.
And in a tame environment, man. Like,
I mean, you can go do a mushroom trip at a hike, but you just need to know where you're at.
And who you're with, too.
Be with someone else and other people know where you're at.
Exactly.
Because, like, if you do a trip in a bad state of mind or with people you don't know or a place you're not comfortable, you're going to freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
There's no way around
it. I literally thought we were, like, switching bodies.
Yeah.
Because we were just moving around, like, as we were tripping.
You're like, I don't
and I was like, I am going to die. And I went to a room and started playing like a Ryan Beatty album and was like, I'm just going to go to sleep. I fell asleep, and then the fucking kid walks in and he just sits there on the bed and wakes me up. And I was like, dude, just let me fucking be. Like,
and next thing you know, you're dropping that stuff on a hike, and you're like walking around in like a forest that's on fire. And
that's a different story. Like, fuck.
Anyway, we got to get wrapping it up here. Eric, do you got anything you want to plug before we peace out?
Yeah. So, well, originally,
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. Originally, my like stage name was EIG. I kind of am over it though, because like that was made when I was like 17. It's been like 3 years since then. So I'm officially like switching my stage name as of now to like Erik the Great. I don't know why. I just thought of it, and I was
that's
like,
it's a cool name.
Yeah,
I like when people do like first name does something. Like,
yeah, because like I don't want to make it like my full name, because it's not like a cool name. Like, but like fuck it. So I'm changing that. That's kind of like my big thing right now. And then I'm working on a project. I don't want to know if I want to call it an album or a mixtape or whatever. I don't want to have a name for it just yet. But yeah, I got that in the works. Don't know if it's ever going to come out. I don't like to put dates or anything on that shit, because then I think too much about it, and I'm like, Okay. Yep. I got
That's
to
why you're an
come out and then
indie
I go-
artist, man. You don't need
Exactly. Yeah.
good dates.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't need that shit. I'm just like making music and having fun with it. And like, I don't know. I kind of have a basis for what I want it to be. I kind of want it to be like people looking into themselves and fears and like overcoming it. But like, I don't know. I got a direction I'm trying to think about doing, but yeah, I got that going. And then I have Twitter and Instagram. I honestly don't know what my fucking usernames are on those. Let me look real quick. I'm one of those people. I don't really like. I go on those platforms.
I found you on
like,
Twitter. You're at EIG_music.
Yep.
Oh,
and
you're
then
gonna have
my
to
name
change.
right now is 3 dots. It's just 3 dots as my username or whatever. And I'm gonna change that after this or whenever this gets posted. So I guess
I'm sure you'll probably
an official
upload
announcement after it.
You'll probably upload that music project to like Bandcamp or something. Yeah.
I've never done Bandcamp, but I've always done like streaming.
Yeah.
So like I have older songs. I have I know we're trying to wrap up, but I have 2 that are on like Apple and Spotify and stuff. And then I have a few that are on SoundCloud, but those are all like they just aren't me anymore. So that's kind of why I'm changing. But they're good songs. Like whenever I play them to somebody, they're like, "This should be on the radio," and I'm like, "Thanks," but they aren't. So like, what do I do? So I'm just like, it's just not there yet. But yeah, I kind of want to shout out like Dion and JP and everyone from Face. I know you guys have had him on here before. He kind of talked about Face and everyone in it. I'm a part of that group. I'm like the newest member of it. That was like last year around like April or stuff. I kind of started joining in on that. But yeah, I want to shout them out. And then I also want to shout out Louforia, who I also used to call Big Lou. That used to be his name like a long time ago when I had EIG as the name. And then also everyone in that kind of circle that I'm working with on music stuff too. So yeah.
Cool.
Killer B. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on, homie.
Of course, I
Thanks,
loved
man.
it. It was
Yeah,
fun.
I'd shake your hand there, Eric, but I'm down in Texas. So.
You'll still get Corona over Zoom.
I'll be down there in December, but
he's had it twice, man. He's not gonna get it a third time.
I'm going to Waco, so I mean, I'm
Waco. Oh
like
shit, man. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to Waco and we're staying on a ranch because it's like I want to be around some fucking cows and shit. Like I'm going to Texas. I don't want to be in Dallas. Like we'll go to Dallas, but.
That's like a different part of Texas where I'm from. Like I'm from
You're
West.
south,
right? I live in West Texas.
West,
so
okay.
It's like the westernmost tip of Texas you can go to.
Basically California.
No, it's basically just New Mexico.
Yeah, that's New Mexico.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right,
cool. Don't get lost in the desert. We'll see you soon. Peace
Don't
out,
drop
motherfuckers.
Acid.
Well, if you do
acid
it
in a bad
secure
place.
environment. Yeah,
exactly. Have fun with it.
Burning Man. Neglect your children so you can go to Burning Man. That's the message of the day. You guys have a good fucking night. This has been Bread and Circuses. Subscribe on all our shit and give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts because it helps us fucking cheat the algorithm. Thank you guys. Peace the fuck out.